All right, guys, we're back. I was a little bit under the weather, had things going on the last few days, but seems as though that things are still trending in the same direction. And honestly, the way things that are being handled both throughout Massachusetts and Boston, it seems like it is a masterclass on how to lose the public trust. Do you remember when Maura Healey promised everybody, she stood up and said that everybody that was at the shelters were fully vetted? All right. Then she came back on. I can't remember when the timeline was, right? She came back on. There was an arrest of a serious crime, and she basically got up and said that everybody is vetted. Okay. So it turns out that wasn't exactly true. In fact, it wasn't true at all. I mean, you can't make this stuff up, guys. It's unbelievable to me. So it just came out a few days ago that the state hasn't actually been conducting full criminal background nor Corey checks. So let me put things into perspective for you. I can't believe this is happening in Massachusetts. All right. So they're not looking for Massachusetts court records for criminal activity. Okay. Instead, they're checking for some offenses and outstanding warrants. And even then, they were only doing these checks just once at intake until July, I believe. And then they finally started doing them like every 30 days or something. Now, you may be asking yourselves, why does this matter? Okay. And the reason is because essentially people will fall through the cracks. There's been hundreds upon hundreds of serious incidents, including all kinds of crazy allegations, stuff that I don't even want to say here on YouTube, that have been reported on into the shelters in the last 18 months. And it seems as though there's even more than that. Okay. It seems as though that they haven't necessarily been coming forth with everything that has been going on. And here's the thing, guys. All right. When Healey was asked how many people in these shelters have criminal backgrounds, her administration could not answer. Now she's like backpedaling on some of these things. So that's right. They don't know. Now they're promising to start running these Corey checks, criminal background checks, sometime this week. And that's great. But what about all of the damage that's already been done? So here's the bigger issue, okay? This isn't just about mismanagement. I talk about this a lot on this channel. It's about trust. And when our leaders tell us everything is under control, but the facts say otherwise, how are we supposed to believe anything that they say? And let's not forget, here's the other thing. Let's not forget about this. Do you remember back in, I think it was like 22 or 23, when Healey's administration called on Massachusetts residents to open their homes to migrant families? They made it sound like it was our moral duty. But the people making the decisions, they're not opening their homes. They're not living next to these shelters. It's a not in my backyard situation all over again. And I mean, you really have to be blind to not see these things that are going on. And I think that a lot of people are waking up to these things and are like, what the hell is happening in this state? Okay. So look, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining here, but this is reality, guys. We need solutions, like real solutions. Start by conducting proper background checks. Invest in programs that actually help people get them on their feet. Instead of just throwing money at a problem, you're not going to save it by just throwing money at it. And most importantly, hold people accountable and start with yourself. Okay, start with yourself, especially when things go wrong. At the end of the day, I think we all want the same thing here to some capacity. I think people want a safe, supportive community for everybody. All right. But we're not going to get there with half truths and a broken system. Look, I think that best case scenario here is that she gets on, or somebody in power gets on and says, look, guys, yes, they said that we're going to change X, Y, and Z, but like at least address what you haven't done. Okay. People are more forgiving to a point. Okay. If you've made a mistake, you own up to that mistake and then you attempt to make things better. All right. By throwing money at issues and just trying to bypass all of the terrible things that have happened in the past and not address those things, it's really not a good look, guys. Okay, in my opinion, it's really not a good look. You really should get on, address the public, tell them what's going on, be truthful, and be transparent about these things. Because guess what? These issues are affecting everybody. And it seems as these next weeks, months go by, people are starting to understand what is actually happening in their backyards, and they're concerned, right? Whether it be family members or friends, like there are a lot of people that are being affected by not only this issue, but multiple issues here in Massachusetts. So I think that these lawmakers, these so-called leaders, I really think they need to do what they need to do, and they need to start coming forward and being honest with the people, because essentially that is what the people want. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.